Hi, Tucky Williams here with Leslie Easterbrook from, like, I looked at your IMDb entry and it's like...
It's amazing, and I feel like I'm so young.
How you are young.
And there are
How
lots,
did you do
the thing
that?
is, I'm really old because there were sometimes lots of spaces between those projects.
So I'm going to ask you, what do you want to be known for?
Well, you know what?
You're from...
Known for. I just got recognized when I had dinner before I came over by this lovely man named John at a deli here, and he saw me when I first walked in, and there's a mystery, you know, and I was just saying, whoa, that feels good. He said, yeah, and I think he was drinking a beer, and I was getting up to leave, and he'd come in, he goes, I recognize you. You're in those Police Academy movies. And I said, yeah, and he wanted an autograph, and I was just so touched by that. So I said, from your new girlfriend, you know.
I bet you get that all the time.
And I love being known for those because the kids in the company, are like some of them are still in their late teens, they all grew up with those movies. Mm-hmm. And we made the first one in 1983. These kids, some of them that I've met the other night, they were just kids this tall, were Police Academy fans. And they were born, I think 2 of them, in the 2000s. So, I mean, to do something that's lived on like that and people laugh at, because boy, we do need a laugh now and then. And we laughed like crazy people when we made them. And it's a big old family.
Really?
Yeah, I have an apartment in LA that's being sublet by one of the regular cast members, and it's always a Police Academy. For years, it's been a Police Academy apartment, a crash pad for anybody who's in town who may live in New York. Well, it's just and a couple of them, Mary and Ramsey, we've lived together off and on for years. First ever interview with no makeup. It's before the theater, and I've had a long day, and I just didn't want to put any on, you know, and spoil the effect. But I have no eyebrows. And the reason I have no eyebrows is that I did 2 tours of King and I when I was, I think, 21, 22. And finally I got to the point where I just shaved off my eyebrows. It was so hard to do. I played Lady Tiang, the head wife, and I played Tuptim, the Burmese slave girl that comes over, and it's the second plot with those wonderful songs like We Kiss in the Shadow and I Have Dreamed. Anyway, so they never grew back.
They never grew back?
Just a few little ones grew in here. So
I mean, I can see you have eyebrows.
Yeah, but there are like 6 of them. You can count them on one hand.
Of eyebrows.
But I always put eyebrows on, and then when I put eyebrows on, I realized that I need liner and shadow, because then it becomes a real face.
Yeah.
So it becomes a whole thing. So
that's why now.
Yeah, that's why. Once I start, it's, you know, it's 45 minutes before I'm done.
Oh gosh.
I'd love to be able to just put the eyebrows on, but I don't have the kind of eyes that can sort of stand them.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're really pretty. You jumped out of the car and I was just like, oh, okay.
Ooh.
That's
well, I have some hair from last night. But I do know that we need plenty of cops on the street, and boy, do I have respect for what they do now. I've learned so much just from being in the Police Academy movies, meeting lots of them, being trained by some of them, but also just getting involved with the Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C. and survivors groups, and the way I've been welcomed into that community, and the stories that I've heard, and the people that I know. And I wanted to go. Mike Peros is just great. He's chairman of the board, or president of the board, here at the Pioneer Playhouse. And he's just a lovely man, and he was taking me to the Brass Band Festival, where I got to speak about the Playhouse a little bit on this big stage, and I didn't know I was going to do it, but it turned out fine. And I said, you know, there's one place I want to go in Danville. I would like to stop into the police department or the sheriff's office, just to thank everyone for their service. And it didn't work out.
Oh, no,
well,
you didn't get to do it.
I didn't get to do it, and there was some EMT guys there, so I talked to them, because I mean they do tremendous service.
Well, do people just go crazy when they see you? Like,
no, they know. Mostly they don't recognize.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
They don't recognize me, except for John today at the deli. Okay. And I get so tickled when they do, because I'm a character actress. Yeah. You know, I look different in everything that I do.
Does anyone ever come up to you and say, "Hey, I became a police officer because of those movies"?
I think a couple people have said that turned them in that direction.
That's huge.
I said, "You went for the comedy," and I said, "Yeah." Yeah. But you know what? Cops are funny. I guess, you know, in order to live with a grisly life, they really do have tremendous senses of humor.
Yeah.
I have found out, and
some of them have a really dark sense of humor.
It's dark. Yeah, but I mean, but we do too. You know, we have the dark sense of humor too. But they like to be silly. They can be very silly, and that kind of warms my heart that they can be. In Washington D.C. A group of them used to rent a theater out every time a Police Academy movie would come out. They would do the midnight show, and they'd just show it for the officers, and they'd be able to bring beer and everything in. And so they would drink and watch the movies as long as they cleaned out all their stuff afterwards. And they get to watch for free.
Yeah.